Okay, this next one here is tool selections. So again, you have all the tools here, you've got tools up here, but these right here are kind of the ones that we're going to want to understand for moving and selecting. So select tool allows me to select. If I click off of an object, it deselects it. If I click on an object, it'll select it. Move tool, we'll see that we've got sort of these 4 axes. That's an important part, by the way. The axis in Maya kind of defines everything for 3D space. So we have the X and the Y, which you'll know from sort of math classes. Just the up is Y and the X is left, right. And then you add Z for a third dimension coming out towards us and back away from us. That's an important factor. So make sure that you understand this, because it starts to play a part in how all of these motions and movements of your objects work. And you see over here in our box channel layer, or even in the attribute editor, we have a consistent sort of width, height, depth, X, Y, Z relationship with everything. Same in the channels box. Translates all are X, Y, Z. Rotates are all X, Y, Z. Scales are all X, Y, Z. So the X, Y, Z is constant. Whenever you see 3 boxes next to one another, like over here, these are X, Y, Z boxes usually. So that's something to keep in mind. And it plays a part in your tools. So my translate tool, of course, has motion. If I grab the X, see the red, if I grab the X, it'll move in the X. If I grab the Y, I move it in the Y. And if I grab the Z, I move it in the Z. Alright? And you see all these translations happen over here. I can go ahead and select these, hit 0, return it back to its original space. I can also Z back to undo. But objects will remember their original coordinates in the in 3D space here. So let's go ahead and look at the next couple that are important. The rotate tool is also centered around the Y, X, Z sort of setup here, X, Y, Z. So Y, for example, is green, and here's green. When I select it, it becomes yellow to let me know it's activated. And it rotates around the up-down axis, just as the Z will rotate around the Z axis, etc. Now, there's another circle outside of all these. If I select it, it's a kind of a camera axis. So if I'm facing whatever way I am with the camera, I can select that and it'll rotate it in that direction, which is, as you can see, a combination of X, Y, and Z in this case because of the way I'm looking at it. That one's a little more tricky to use. Sometimes it's useful for things when you're lining things up, but it's not as, it's going to be a lot more random. And then the scale tool, which gets used a fair amount also, is a little tricky in itself as well, because I can grab this and I can scale in the X, and it's going to get larger from the X. Here's the Z, here's the Y. But you want oftentimes a uniform scale. So if I select one of these, I can kind of then select this blue middle. And once it becomes yellow, it's activated. And now I can scale everything all at once. And again, with all of this, you can put in information over here in the in your channel box. So if I wanted to scale this up 2 times, I could just put in 2 right here. I selected all of the scale X, Y, and Z, and I put in 2, and I've doubled its size. If I want to do 3 times, there you go. It's now 3 times the size of what it was. And that's a little more precise. You can just directly input information here, as well as using the tools that you find on the sidebar here. So that's pretty much it for tools. I mean, these are just the basic how to manipulate objects in your scene sort of tools. And there's a lot more, but those are all kind of more specialized. This is just your basic, how do I move things around? And that's pretty much it. There's the basis of it.